Views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's, mental model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the sky. My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's, mental model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the sky. My brothers keep a show. Introduce the host. My brothers keep a show. Introduce the host. That's the Dr. Michael Green.
When's the last time someone said thanks for checking over your shoulder before changing lanes? Or gave you a pat on the back for sticking to the speed limit? Or a thumbs up for not tailgating? Probably never. Which is too bad, considering safe drivers make the roads safer for everyone. That's why Allstate appreciates safe drivers like no one else. And they show it by saving you 45% or more, along with giving you safe driving bonus checks, deductible rewards, and extra discounts with the DriveWise app. So the next time you come to a complete stop in an intersection, ask yourself, why haven't I switched to Allstate?
The Brandeo Insurance Group, your local DMV Allstate agent, can help you save 45% or more for driving safely. Call him at 410-424-0844 and get a quote today.
It pays to drive safely. Call a local Allstate agent today and find out how you can save 45% or more. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
It's the new, all-natural, family-friendly pharmacy, Family Choice Pharmacy, located at 8313 Annapolis Road, New Carrollton, Maryland. Family Choice offers alternative medicines as well as discount programs you can easily enjoy. Come be a part of our family at Family Choice Pharmacy, as every family should know their pharmacist. If you're looking to join the family today, you can reach us at 301-577-1212 at Family Choice Pharmacy.
If you like to roller skate, you will love Lanham Skate Center. We offer all kinds of specials, birthday parties, skate classes, and more. You can even reserve the rink for a special event. Skate rentals only $3, so roll on over to Lanham Skate Center today. Located at 9901 Lanham Severn Road in Lanham, Maryland. For more information about our weekly schedule, visit us on the web at lanhamskatecenter.com or call for more information at 301-577-1733. That's 301-577-1733.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Hun. Okay, welcome, and definitely greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the greatest show on this side of greatness. Of course, it is My Brother's Keeper, and of course, it is 10 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour in Lanham, Maryland. Hey, this is a show where greater men continue to make men great with the spirit of excellence, and of course, we do know it is a Tony the Tiger terrific Tuesday. Hey, we just want to give a shout out to my main man, Dr. Brian Champion, co-host, and definitely he is on travel. Definitely soak up the sun, enjoy yourself, and we're definitely praying safe travel mercies. Also like to welcome back our producer, who has not been in the loop for a few weeks, and we welcome her back from travel afar. And one of these days she's going to get on air and tell us all all about her wonderful travels.
Okay.
Amen. Also, sitting alongside me tonight is Elder Kevin Motley. Brother has a show on WBGR Radio, and it comes on Sundays about 7 p.m. 7:30. And definitely an awesome show. Definitely it's called Black Sheep, and definitely tune in when you get an opportunity. But for tonight purposes, we're going to be talking about him and his election of being elected to the City Council of Bowie, Maryland, District 3. But before we get into that, just want to welcome Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, Durham, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, New Jersey, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia's in the house, and all across the great plains of America. We're going to talk about California. Welcome, Pomona, California, as well as Purple Mountain Majesty. Okay, I had to get that out, complete that thought in my head, right? I'd like to welcome and say thank you for the continuous support of Bishop Jelani Kafela of Imani Christian Cathedral and the Bridge Network. Thank you so much for your support. Also, Bishop James B. Walker of the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, presiding prelate over the 7th District. Definitely thank you so much for your support as well. And of course, we do know that the call-in number is 301-429-9247. That number again is 301-429-WBGR. Also, remember, you can watch us on Roku, as well as download the WBGR app on Fire Stick. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now on Apple TV.
Yes, indeed.
So if any of you have any of those devices, you can watch us on the big screen. And we just come right on into your home. Amen. We definitely appreciate you watching again and allowing us to come in through your mobile device or whatever device you are watching us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember to please like and share. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you in a new forum, Elder Kevin Motley. He is running for District 3 City Council in Bowie, Maryland, and I wanted to have an opportunity to bring him on and share his views and some of the power of his platform, and also to encourage you to also go out and vote for him. And I think the brother's a dynamic brother. He's a visionary, and he's a leader of his time, and he's a change agent. And so if ever you had the pleasure of being around someone who make things happen and change things for the better, I'm sure you will agree with me. That is an awesome thing to be around. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the host of Black Sheep Radio and also Elder, Mr. Kevin Motley, District 3 Bowie State candidate, City Council candidate. Welcome, sir,
yes, sir,
to the
yes,
show,
sir.
my brother's keeper.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
All right, and talk to the people.
Hey, good people. I'm not K-Mont tonight. I'm Kevin Motley. I'm running for District 3 City Council. I'm going to tell you something good about this. When the Lord showed me this, and I didn't see government as kingdom work. I saw it as something where people had opportunities to actually get their names made, find a foothold into something great in leadership, and not be who they say they're supposed to be. What got me to the point where I wanted to get into this was the fact that the candidates that came before me, I didn't see kingdom. I didn't see unity. I saw agenda. And the reality of government, if we look at, and I'm going to take this to the Bible right now, if we look at how the order of God, how God has actually built us to be on this earth, we are here to reign and produce greatness, not to make agendas and not to actually stuff our pockets with selfish gain. We are to govern a people with the power of the Holy Spirit, with the power of God. What I saw and what I heard was more of a point where they want to develop, but not develop the people. And growing up, I grew up around community. I moved to Bowie because it was a great community. Bowie now is a place of opportunity, not community. not a place of unity, but opportunity. Bowie's a place that does not breed community. Everybody comes there and shop. Everybody leaves.
Okay.
Everybody builds their purpose or their agenda and leave.
Okay.
I moved there to actually build a life. And I want to bring that back to Bowie.
Okay.
We have so many densely populated areas where we don't have community. There's so many people that live within the communities that don't actually believe in community.
Okay.
So what I want to do is bring back the things that create community.
Okay.
I have 6 points in my whole agenda. And my agenda is kingdom.
Okay.
Basically, I want to bring back the vision of God. I want to bring back, not even giving them the Bible, but giving them the principles of what we are. Our country was founded on the Word of God.
Well, when you talk about bringing kingdom agenda back to the forefront, what do you say to them that say there's a separation of church and state?
There's never a separation of church and state.
Okay.
There's a separation of beliefs.
Okay.
So when we understand that the very laws that they call state are based out of church.
Okay.
Everything that we see in the actual the amendments, they are grounded in the principles of God.
Okay. Okay.
The rights, if people really want to go a little deep, when we receive the Holy Spirit, that is our Constitution. We have independence, and we're able to reign within the kingdom with that power, because God says, this is your law, leave me alone. I've written it and I've signed it. So operate in that.
Okay.
What people don't understand is they have a voice. The way that we actually get to God is through our words, what we say from our hearts. So the reality of people's complaints, I received that.
Okay.
And the reality of me being in a position to be the voice of the working man, I can voice those opinions to people that will have to hear those opinions.
Okay. All right. In looking at your platform and looking at what Bowie represents, and you're even stating the fact of what Bowie has become, how now do you take the city, or in your stance or the platform, and introduce kingdom? How do you, because they've been opportunists, they've been, I don't really want to say opportunists, but it's been geared more toward opportunity. But how now do you take it, flip the script, and introduce kingdom agenda?
I would flip the script by showing that you are not inclusive. You are called Bowie, but you're not inclusive.
How many candidates are running?
We have 5 now.
Okay.
And basically, you have 1 that's already in. You have 2 that's pretty good brothers. I actually kind of have a rapport with the other brothers, but it's a point where they live at is not where that's conducive to what Bowie is.
Okay.
The district that we live in basically are townhomes, renters, and apartments.
Okay.
And the majority of the candidates live in the estate properties. So we do have a separation. We have a 3A and a 3B. So the reality of what goes on in the gateway, which is 50 Colleton, 197, 301 to 450, basically, or Church Road and Mount Oak, basically are working class people. Okay. These are people that actually may rent and don't have a voice, or don't feel that they have a voice. We have seniors that don't work, that think that they don't have a voice, or nobody's listening to them. And the reality of someone that is in estate properties, you don't really see them intermingling with the working class people. They don't have the people stealing cars in their neighborhood on a nightly basis. They don't have to deal with law enforcement and not know how to dialogue with law enforcement. So basically,
there's no community.
There's no community. So my property sits maybe 100 yards from your home. I'll wave to you from a distance. But we have people that live row by row. And we have to understand that there are dialogues that need to be held with government officials, with county officials, and law enforcement.
Okay. I think we kind of gotten, because of our excitement.
I'm sorry.
You're running, but that's quite all right. I just want to really introduce you to the people and allow you an opportunity to tell the people a little bit about you, give them some history and some backdrop on you.
Okay. Well, my name is
the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, let me put the laptop down. Well, my name is Kevin Motley, like we stated, and I'm more of an activist. I love public relations. I love community work. I love seeing people grow. I grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey. I moved here in 1990, and from a place of childhood and being in high school, I've always been involved in community. Okay. So the reality of working throughout the community and communicating and finding out what the need of the people were, that's been my life.
Okay.
The moment that I received Christ and He gave me direction on where to go, my passion became my purpose.
All right.
And my purpose is, right now as we speak, is to bring people together, to actually make people know that there is a way for us to unite, no matter what color, no matter what political affiliation. We are united through the blood that in the air that we breathe. We are all humans, and we all share the same rights in this country. So the thing is, one of the things that I've always wanted to do was I'll look at a situation, I'll analyze it, and I'll go from the worst part of the problem to actually bring out the best part of the problem. So say that there's a conflict. What I would do is I would analyze that. Okay, is it race? Is it this? Is that? How do I mediate this? I always walk into a situation trying to mediate, because there will always be a place where people don't know each other. There's such a diversity in our country where cultural diversity has caused brick walls and walls between people.
Okay.
And I was never brought up like that. When I moved to Maryland and literally when I moved here, it's really the first time I ever really faced real racism, because I grew up in a building that was almost 40 stories at a point where we had everybody in the building. My babysitter was Russian. I had Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Haitians, and I grew up in an environment that didn't really show
very versatile.
We were all poor at the same time, and we all helped each other at the same time. And when one got something, they came back and they helped.
Well, one thing that when you talk about being poor together, suffering has a way of bringing people together.
Indeed.
You know, it's just when we begin to think that we have made it and arrived, we begin to try to separate and become better and have the better than mindset against one another.
Think about 9/11. 9/11 brought the whole country together. Nothing mattered, but you know what? We're going to help each other and we're going to heal together.
That's right.
Even the ones that weren't hurt, we healed together. And we have to recognize there literally are economic prejudices. When we look at certain people look down on certain people. A lot of people don't understand that we have bigger issues than race.
That's right.
We have educational issues, not just school educational issues, but the fact that we are educated wrong at a certain point in our lives. But what we fail to realize, we're running the same race. The wall is up. You're doing exactly what I'm doing on this side, but you can't see me. And so many people don't recognize that, you know what, in order for us to work together, we have to work together. We have to break down the barriers and the walls. Words matter.
I think it was President Reagan that told Gorbachev, tear down the wall.
Yeah.
And he tore the wall down.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, I want to know more about you. I want to know the husband. I want to know the father. I want to know, the homeowner, because again, I want the people of Bowie to see you in a place that, you're not just all of a sudden just arrive and say, I'm running, but I want you to get personal with the people.
Okay.
Because you care.
Thing is, I'm father.
Sorry, the producer was saying something. She's energetic because she hasn't been here in a few weeks, so she's ready to just.
She's energetic because of that chicken sandwich she had on Popeyes.
Really?
That's what it is. That's what it is. But I'm a father of 4 daughters, 2 college graduates, a 17-year-old that's going into college next year, and a 7-year-old.
Okay.
I'm a father. I'm a husband of 27 years. With the same woman. We built life from teenage to here.
So your teenage love, your teenage sweetheart.
That is my baby.
That's
That is my best friend.
I feel you knocking.
So it's a point where I love music. Like you guys know, I do Black Sheep Radio. I love to inform. I love to give information. My mom's here, my brother's here, the son of a incarcerated man, a lifer basically, raised by a single mother, grew up strong. Most people have to understand that, a single mom will make you strong. Being raised by a single mom, it makes you strong along with functional male role models. So I want to say this one thing: women, find functional male role models if you're raising a young man. Basically, man, I love to golf. I love golf.
It's the first time I'm hearing of that.
I love golf, man.
It's the first time I'm hearing of it. Okay, go ahead.
22 years, union ironworker. I've been an ironworker for almost 28 years. I've built a lot of the things that you see around here. Wilson Bridge. The latest project that was amazing was the Capital One building. I am a working man.
Okay.
I'm a working man. I have dirty fingernails. I have scars and bruises.
All right.
So I'm me.
Okay.
I'm a unique guy. Basically, I love the Lord. Real active in my community of church. I hold the title of an elder. Political aspects, I'm learning. I'm learning code. I'm being what I should be right now. Okay. And as God begins to reveal certain things to me, I don't have an extensive resume of political power, but the thing is, I'm active in my community when political things happen. When my brothers call me out to come out, I'll come out.
Yes.
I have plenty of friends that are in D.C. in actual political positions, and I'm active with just being a common man. Hearing the issues of people, pulling out my phone and taking notes.
I see that you're becoming well versed, because as you're telling people, introducing yourself to the people, I see that you've touched on the manhood piece, you touched on the womanhood piece, you touched for the average working man, the blue collar worker. So I'm seeing that you're very well versed in that political space of touching people through your story of communicating.
Because community, here's the thing: anything that we do as city leaders, we have to actually make the community value stay or prosper. And if we're doing stuff where where certain other aspects are prospering and the community is not, we're failing our people. Okay. We're not actually in tune with what the people that live in that city want. Okay. See, we have certain government entities where they'll propose something and then bring the people in.
Okay.
One of the issues that I see right now is Westphalia. Westphalia, they're getting Amazon coming to their neighborhood. It was already proposed, and then they bring the people in. Now, how do we actually get rid of text amendments where we get rid of people and we go to the actual developer? Why aren't the people of the neighborhood that said, you know what, I bought a state property and I wanted to remain the state property, and this is what it is that we're going to do, but yet you do a text amendment to actually remove the people and go right into the Amazon monster. Amazon's been here for 5 years if people really want to know. They've been here. It's not just Arlington. It's Ashburn, it's Manassas. They've been here. So the reality is, how do we get the people involved?
How do we get the people involved?
We educate the people and we tell them. We actually, as a government entity, if it's not an agenda that's going to fill my pockets, we actually have to understand that the taxpayers are making it work for you. And actually amend. You have these things called master plans. Amend old master plans that actually eliminate people. We have to really understand that there are laws that we have as community. My job is to get as many people at that mic at city council meetings so that we can know what's going on.
Absolutely.
This is the reason why I walk around right now. I have a torn Achilles and a broke femur. Every day I get out and I reach the people.
A man of the community. One thing that I want to say and share with you is that I thank you for coming out during the night in the community with My Brother's Keeper, and standing with alongside My Brother's Keeper, along with a True Deliverance Ministry, in solidarity with Angels of Hope. Because of the death in the community and the killings that are going on in the community. So I do know that you are a brother that show up. And not only show up, when I call, but your work is dealing with homeless.
Yes.
And you're out there sleeping on the ground with the homeless.
Yes.
So I just want the people to really know your heart.
Yeah.
And that you're not just showing up saying, I want to run and be this 3rd District council member of Bowie, but to know that you've put work in and you're standing on the work. And I believe that God will bless as you continue to put good work behind what you call.
And you can't actually, and I say this, and we don't need that. You cannot actually say that you're ready to do anything if you have not experienced it. I will not do anything if I have not experienced it. I stay teachable even to the point where I listen to a 7-year-old tell me stuff about my health that I don't even recognize. If you remain teachable, and here's the thing that I live by: if you're the smartest person in the room, you don't belong in that room.
That's right. That's right.
And
okay, I gotta leave. Okay. Okay. But don't bump. Okay. All right. That was my joke. Dr. Champion, I had to get it in,
that's
man.
Your buddy right there. That's your man right there. But okay. you can never say that your passion is something if you never experienced it. Like you're saying about the homelessness. I used to hand coats out and go out with sandwiches or whatever. But God said, how will you know anything about the culture unless you actually do it? And it was one evening, I just decided, a Friday evening, my wife saw me leave my work clothes on, and I made a sign. And I went out because I'm giving resources, but they're still there. So after 2 years, you're still here. And I had to scratch my head and why is he still here? The moment I sat out there and I realized there's a culture. And when you ask the right question, you'll realize that people will respond, not react, but respond. There's a difference between reacting and responding. A reaction doesn't warrant any thought, a response does. If you look at medicine, you know what? When you get something that does not jive with your body, it reacts. There's nothing you can do about it. But the thing is, the medicine responds because it knows exactly what to attack. And that is my approach with what's going on here. It's cool to stand on the corner and wave hands and show signs. But the reality of having the weaponry of the people's heart and hear what people are saying. Like you have these older voters, like literally, they don't think that people are listening to them. And then you have the millennials that don't want to be a part of something that they don't know anything about. So even on my website, if you go to my website,
what's the website?
www.kevinmotleyforbowie.com. You can register to vote on my website. Unlike my competitors, I have this on my website because I actually talk to the millennials. We have to go to Bowie State.
They can also donate on your
donate
website
as well. Donate as well. www.kevinmotley4bowie.com.
And she's going to run that on the thread. Now that you're talking about the voting, they can register to vote. Ingenious, great idea. How are you reaching the millennials? How are you reaching the recently incarcerated, the returning citizens? How are you interacting to get them registered to vote?
Now, for the returning incarcerated, we have to work on legislation so that they can vote, so that they can get reacclimated into doing certain things. For the millennials, you just got to keep it real. You just have to be to a point where, you know what is your concern? And a lot of times, they don't know what their concern is. So you have to be apt enough to go and look at some of the things that will benefit them. They want jobs. They want schooling. They want to be helped. So at a point, we have to teach them and help them, but in the same instant, make them independent to actually go out and do what they need to do. We have to give them something that they can actually chase down. They will trace you all the way back to your birthday. If they want to know if you're real enough, that is what you need. These kids will follow you. And the thing is,
in the fire.
Exactly.
They'll follow you through the fire. If they believe in the vision,
yes,
and the transparency of what you're sharing with truth, then they'll follow you through the fire.
Young people want to be heard, and we have to look at them with unjudging eyes. We have to show that we really are interested in their vote. Because if you look at President Obama, how he got the young people to go out, he actually used what they deal with every day. He got into the music. He got into certain things. My level of government is local government. Yes, I have a small little block that I'm in. But the reality is there are a lot of people that live in that block.
Yes.
That's between the ages of 18, and I consider millennials 35. And at the end of the day, they.
Well, it just seems that, and I'm hearing that your hand continues to stay on the pulse.
Yes, I do my best. I do my best. I will never. One thing, and if you're watching, and if you're a resident of Bowie District 3, and that's from Princeton Square to 301 to Allen Pond. If you're a resident of District 3, all I can tell you is I will do my best. No promises, nothing that I can actually give you until the actual battle comes. And what I need the most is something that I can't do by myself. I need you. We the people are powerful. Kevin Motley, the man, can only do so much.
That's right.
But as a community, we have to really recognize when we come together and we have the same voice, it gets louder and louder and louder and more audible because the same people are saying the same things.
That's right.
In the city, we have 6 points that I actually want to touch on.
Yeah, I wanted to go through and deal with your 6 points.
Yeah.
And so one of the 6 points, the first one is development.
Yes.
Let's talk about development.
Development.
Now you can open it up.
I can open this up now. Yes. Let me go to my teleprompter. And basically, development.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you know someone that lives in Bowie District 3, and please, tag them, share it with them. He said call him. You can call in 301-429-9247, 301-429-WBGR. And, reach out and talk with, Elder Kevin Motley, who is running for City Council. And he has a plan, and we're getting ready to go through that plan. So if you know someone who lives in the Bowie area, District 3, please tag and share it with them. Let's talk about the development.
Development. For me, development needs to be all-inclusive. Not just developer and city. It needs to be all-inclusive to the fact where...
Developer and community.
Yeah, development, community, and government, and the local government. Because a lot of things will happen where we have no idea. For instance, we have a new sports arena coming in, but we have rights until their mortgage is paid. And once their mortgage is paid, it's not considered, we don't have first dibs. But a lot of people don't know these things. So we have things that are put in place, and we don't know the backstory. All we see that it's going to bring in, but we don't recognize what is the community value of this being here. How is this helping this community grow? So
how is it added value? How can you get that meeting to cause that alarm to go, sound that alarm?
You have, like I said, you have rights. You have the right to actually get a group of people together. I want to thank Miss Millie Hall. They have this thing in Bowie called Concerned Citizens of Bowie. Has nothing to do with government.
Okay.
But these are the people that live in the community.
We the people.
And you have the right to have your representative to sit in a room with you and a group of your neighbors and ask questions. You have the right to call your county executive or whoever that is that's in your district to sit in the room with your actual representative and talk about certain things that go on. So the thing is, to bring balanced growth to our community, we have to be unified and know what's going on. And in the same instance, it has to actually be, we have to develop like the equality of economic opportunities in the city. So now that we understand that so much development is coming in, how is that density that's being taken up helping the city? How is that to the point where we have amendments and we know that these amendments limit our developers to work in certain areas?
Okay, this question here is, how do you bring developers, community, government together to bring forth that information and bring forth that change to collaborate? Everyone's collaborating. Or that collaborative effort.
My solution,
bring them together.
This is one of the
things.
Tell
your constituents.
One of the things that I would do is I would go to my local government and tell them to send out more information about what's being developed in the master plan of Bowie. Because a lot of times the government will meet with developers before the people even know. So if you see land or you understand anything about your city, you know that certain things are not to be done without the rights of the people. You have historic areas that are being built on, but they were amended. So you have different types of things where they can amend what's already in place because, hey, they might have been given a better opportunity or the land or whatever. Stuff might have been backed up. You know, you have a housing that's going on now that was proposed in 2014, but you have 2006 amendments, and we live in 2019. So if a road was supposed to be developed, it may not be developed. Because now it doesn't fit the master plan of your city. So what I would propose, the fact that we go in and we actually ask them to send out more information about the meetings, the town hall meetings, the things that we need to have. Oh, and we can also go to our county councilman, and we can find out what's going on even more better, because he's more apt to tell you what has been proposed or not. So,
and that will soon be you, Councilman.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about diversity.
Diversity. Bowie is a real diversity. We have many cultures. We have so many. You have daily. You have different people coming in, but we don't have the same understandings. And with diversity comes different problems. With diversity comes more knowledge. And the thing is, what I plan to do with our diverse community is have more dialogue. We have a high school that's 20% African, 40% Hispanic, and maybe 25% American, and everything else that comes in between. But guess what? We have to understand that cultures matter, and this actually removes a lot of the things that we have when we have our misconceived notions about one another. And with our law enforcement has to understand that we are diverse, and everything that we are, we have to really understand. We have to sit down and talk with people to know what their needs are.
Dialogue.
Right.
Communication brings confrontation, bring about correction.
Exactly. And the solution is dialogue. And the majority of all that I've proposed and what I'm saying about my platforms is dialogue. And people have to be involved. We've gotten to a point now, we have a president in play, and a lot of people say, I will not vote. I didn't vote. Now we're complaining about what's in place.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, if you think there weren't candidates available, why not jump in? This is what I did.
That's right. To make a difference.
To make a difference. You're the change. You're the change that you want to see.
That's right.
And the reality is, we have a man in play. I don't knock everything he does. Pretty smart businessman at a certain point, because I grew up under his business in New Jersey. Saw what he did with our school system for maybe 4 years, but he's doing.
We're talking about the same person?
Yes, we're talking about the same person. Okay. But this person basically did great things, but then reneged as he's doing with the country. So basically,
what great things have you done?
Okay, we have. When I was in Jersey,
I mean, not to throw you on the spot or anything, because I do believe his businesses went bankrupt.
But here's the thing that I'm saying about.
And I mean, I understand through this business, economic, his business, he brought people in to work, and so therefore, I think he was the major winner out of all of that.
Right. But what I'm saying is this, and we're on the same page. He does great things, and he reneges on those things. He does great things, and he reneges on these things. The same thing with our local government. We'll propose something great, and they'll renege on it. Even to the point, if we look at Obama, I can even say this about Obama.
President Obama. Okay, but no, we got to stay on this great things that this gentleman, he talked about a wall.
Well, this thing, the wall has not existed.
Okay,
we negated that.
Okay, but
when we look at the
He's talking New Jersey.
He's talking New Jersey.
Okay. Yeah, here's the thing.
Okay, New Jersey.
Here's the thing. What he did was, with some of the legislation with the gambling in Atlantic City, we saw that we reaped the benefits of the money. Yet, when he tried to get legislation to make it work for him, we look at Atlantic City now, it's desolate.
Yes.
Now, my example, why I'm saying him, is the fact that we have people that say they're going to do something in the beginning. They'll get it going, and then they'll stop. They'll do something great, and then they'll stop.
Okay.
And that reality is, we see that constantly in government. I propose to have people involved. I propose that the people hold me accountable. I propose that when you say that we're going to do this, it's not just Kevin Motley. It is the community. Because I have an authoritative person, which is the mayor of Bowie. I have a person that is over him, which is the executive, the county executive. So at the end of the day, if we stand together, one person is not making a decision where it looks good, and then it falls apart because we have no support behind it.
Okay.
That's the reality of what I mean by.
I didn't mean to take you off point because that kind of raised.
I feel the same way about him, man.
Raised some hairs on my head and the back of my neck when I hear great attached to that name.
Yeah.
And because I just have a problem with that.
Yeah, because if you see the movie Lean on Me, that was because he pulled out.
Yeah, we could go on.
He started and he never finished.
Yeah.
And this
doesn't benefit him.
Right.
Yes.
And this is government. And this is what we see as government.
Yes.
Most people do not vote because they say they're going to do this. 2 years in, they're different.
Okay.
And the thing is, they forgot about the people that voted for them. And they never bring them along because the thing is, the only way that you're going to know that infrastructure problems are going on, the only way that you're going to know the concerns of your people is if you stay attached. 2 years in, you so busy that you can't go back, you have to make time. You have to make time for your community.
Absolutely.
And that means the dialogue has to happen. That means that you have to get HOAs. You have to get people that are in community centers. You have to get people that are in the senior homes that are calling for you because you know what? You're getting the job done. Okay. You've shown that you have character to stay in place.
That's right.
You're not just starting great things and then leaving. So
let's talk about public safety.
Public safety. Let's talk about public safety. Wow. In the city of Bowie, most people don't know, we have a very bad theft problem. Car theft.
Like New Jersey.
Like New Jersey. Don't talk about that. we have a diversity in all neighborhoods. And we have an influx of people that's moving in from DC. You got a lot of people moving in from the city. And the thing is, when you see the difference in certain neighborhoods that were, you look at certain people that are like, we have Section 8 people in our community. All right, so the first thing that people will do is judge this person because of the way they look.
Okay.
Community safety, they need to actually sit down, not just a national night out. They need to sit down and do community ride-alongs. They need to come and be involved in a lot of these HOAs. They need to stay to a point where they're not judging people by their color. We have to understand that there is no community involvement. We see the police, but we don't see the police. Certain neighborhoods, they are policed well. Certain neighborhoods are not. And we have to make it to the point where our public safety becomes a major, major concern. Because if we see and we look at certain cities, from even where I'm from in Jersey, gentrification happens because people say, I'm not snitching. Gentrification happens because they don't trust the police to actually act on certain things without snitching on people that are actually doing certain things. We have a very bad heroin problem in certain parts of Bowie, but it's not addressed. And a lot of the people don't think so because we are well-dressed neighborhoods.
That get up and go to work.
Exactly. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Bowie that people don't recognize. Now, if you stand from a standpoint of me living amongst people and understanding certain characteristics of people, when you're looking at traffic coming in and out of certain things and cars are being stolen, and the thing is, in certain neighborhoods they'll come, certain neighborhoods they'll sit. And what we have to do is really get with our police, and not our county police, but our Bowie police, which are great. Collaborate on community efforts to actually keep our city straight, to keep it safe, to keep things that don't look right to look right. And
now we're talking. Thank you. I appreciate your answering. But in lieu of time, about 10 more minutes, but I want you to speak about the infrastructure and schools and public relations.
Infrastructure. We have a lot of bad roads in Bowie. And it comes from, like I say, the master plans not being held up to date and not understanding that we have to hold certain developers accountable and yet use the resources that we have. We had an issue on Church Road maybe about a month ago where a young man was killed. Now, the thing was, the road was improved, but yet you have speeders coming through in this short area, which turns into a 2-lane raceway for about 1/8 of a mile, but we have no speed deterrents. We have potholes. We have situations where our parks need to be actually lit.
How do you propose to introduce the legislation and or to amend the old laws or legislation?
That takes a community effort to actually call for the amendment. We have to go through county government to actually help with the master plan being, and that involves everybody. That involves all 11 county officials. It involves all 6 council members, including the mayor. What we have to do is we have to have enough people saying that this problem has to be amended, that this needs to happen. If I can give shine light on something that happened in the past 2 weeks, they had a community meeting, and basically the concern for Church Road was to actually have speed deterrent. This is the power of we. Within 2 weeks, we've seen, as I went through Church Road today, there are speed deterrents, and you have officers sitting in 4 points, which cuts down on that speeding. When you recognize that you put stuff in play, when you put stuff on the books, when you put it in a place where it becomes business, when it becomes something that you keep tapping into every month, when you keep
so it sounds as though there have been someone, not pointing any fingers, that have fallen asleep at the wheel.
Exactly. Because
it just took the power of we, and you're talking or communicating to the people of how to bridge the people together to operate in a power that has fallen asleep.
Exactly. And the resources are available to them. They didn't have to buy new resources. The resources sat right in Bowie, and all they had to do was put it out, and someone had to say something. And it comes down to me being the voice with the people standing behind me as well. And even if they're not standing behind me, the fact that I have to be consistent in wanting to fulfill these actual platforms.
Schools and public relations.
Schools and public relations.
Now hit that hard, because you're getting ready to,
Schools. What I want to say about schools, we have a growing population in Bowie. We have a lot of underpopulated schools and a lot of overpopulated schools. And what we have to recognize with unincorporated and incorporated Bowie, you're getting more people in, but they share the same schools. So in certain areas where you have high density, you have to develop and put schools in. If that's not a long-term plan, the reality is to get more buses and move these kids out to underpopulated schools. See, you have so many great schools, but the reality that people don't recognize is you have to be involved to know what's going on in your child's school. My daughter's school, we fundraised. We didn't get any money from the city of Bowie. We fundraised to come up with $3 million to rehabilitate that school. It had nothing to do with the city of Bowie. The reality is the fact that they needed that school so bad, the people said, let's do it. And we need a let's do it mentality as a community. Being your leader, community relations, is basically what I'm saying here. We have to communicate. We have to dialogue. We have to get to the point where you're not afraid to ask the hard questions. You're not afraid to show up. You're not afraid to ring a phone at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. This is just a skimmed view of what it is that I have. And I have to get through the time. But you can call me anytime at 240-475-3990. You can go to my...
That's the home number?
That's my cell number. That's my cell number.
You're dedicating your personal cell.
I'm dedicating my personal
call?
Yes.
Man, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm all in.
Do you sleep?
Not really. I'm all in.
You're a radio show host. You're an elder, and now you're taking on this. You're a father. You're a husband. I mean, you have all these roles.
Yes.
How do you balance it?
The balance is I know my limitation. I know when to say no. I know when to tell. I have to tell you the truth. I have to tell you that I can and I can't. I have to know that I have to make the balance to actually be a father, to actually dedicate to my church, to dedicate to the people. Everybody has schedules, but the thing is, God has given me the strength. And I will, and literally, you forgot the job. I work an 8 to 10 hour day job. But the reality is, I'm committed when I say I'm committed. And I will do my best to fulfill some of the promises.
You got about 2 minutes to make an appeal to the people.
Good people,
Bowie, District 3.
Of District 3. Understand this. You're looking at a common man. You're looking at a hardworking man. 22 years as a structural iron worker. I've been a union member. I've been a leader in a lot of fields outside of government, which qualifies me. I am a leader of the people. I get involved. When you call, I'm there. The reality is, I need you more than you need me. To vote for me on November 5th, it'll be a benefit for us all. It will not benefit me. This is a public service that I volunteer my time for. I'm not sacrificing anything. I'm partnering with you to be a leader in your community. I need no gain from this. What I need is for our community to be what it was when I moved there 12 years ago, which is a community of great people of diversity, of people that are informed about what's going on, of people that want to be community. Mm-hmm. We want to bring back the strength of Bowie. We want to bring back the appeal of Bowie. We don't want it just to be a place where people come to work and leave, or people rent and leave. We love the renters. Wow. We want you to come here and live your life, your best life, grow, move on, grow, and stay. Bowie is a great place to live. And I want to say this. I actually have 2 college graduates that received scholarships from Bowie High School, not from anywhere else, but from the programs that are in the public school system. I never put my kids into a private school. They stayed within a public school system because we were community. We want that to come back. We're in a world right now that does not know anything but pride and selfishness. Let's be the example of what a community is.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard from Elder Kevin Motley, a visionary, a husband, a father, a man of the community who in which is giving of his time, his efforts, and his love. And you surely have seen the compassion that have come through. And one comment, brother, that you really made is that become the change you want to see.
Yes.
So that's what's going to transform our nation. Don't complain about it. Become the change that you want to see. I think that truly impacts, the movement. Not a moment, but a movement. Be part of the movement. I'm sorry. The website again.
The website again is www.kevinmotley4Bowie.com. You can go to my Facebook page at the same thing, Kevin Motley 4 Bowie. You can find me on IG. Drop it in if you're an Instagrammer. Drop everything in that you want to put in the message. You can call me once again, 240-475-3990. Mm-hmm. Don't matter. It's for the cause. And the reality is, let's do this together. Let's stand unified with arms locked, and let's change Bowie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, you've heard from Elder Kevin Motley. Hey, listen, my time is up, and I thank you for yours. Thank you so much for allowing us to come into your home, whether through iPhone, Android, or Roku Fire Stick, or the brand new Apple television. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in and you tuning in. So, when good men stand together, they become great. I am my brother's keeper, and see you on the other side of greatness. God bless you, and good night. See you next week.
My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's, mention model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the sky. My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's, mention model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the sky. My brothers keep a show. Introduce the host. My brothers keep a show. Introduce the host. Pastor Dr. Michael Green.